Hello everybody, I'm so glad you are here. My channel is all about art journal, mixed media painting, collage, assemblage and anything else that sparks my interest. In case you don't know me, I'm Grob and I love to inspire you. Okay, here we are. I have mounted my watercolor paper onto some craft cardstock. You could use instead the colored cardstock or a black cardstock, that's up to you. I have used those two stamps are from my stamp set, and I have no idea what brand it is, but it says Dream Different Dreams. And I did use the distress ink also for those things here. But then with the saying, I went over with some holographic embossing powders that happened to be from Ranger. I don't know, maybe there are others out. What else I did use? Well, I did use watercolor paper, and it is a pretty heavy watercolor paper, not the heaviest. It's a 300 gram per square meter or 140 pound, and that's the 12 by inch or 30.5 by 22.9 centimeters. It's a block. I leave it on the block until I'm done, and then I cut it. You know, I like to work in batches, just the way I roll. It's going to be Mailart postcards, and if somebody has the feeling he needs one, maybe you are a lucky winner to get one of those cards. Okay, first things first, the background is pretty light, so I'm going to spray first my paints, and I have already used some of these colors, but I don't think I have an interference violet, which I'm probably gonna use. So I'm gonna add just a touch, because it doesn't need a lot. And maybe some purple somewhere. That's the spark pink. Sounds good to me. Not sure if I have used it already or not. I don't need to, a little bit, but I certainly need to wet that. And I'm also going to spray the whole sheet heavily with water, because I want the paint to move around. And I'm actually going to move the block. And some purple over here. As you can see, I'm not very good at cleaning things, but I like the color mixture. And that's a shimmery thingy, so I know it's kind of hard to see, but in real you really can see it. I just dab on whatever I feel I would like. Maybe this time even some yellow. Now that has obviously to dry, so I will be back when everything is dry again. And I leave it for about 5 minutes, and then I go in with the heat tool. But the color moves a little bit different when you don't use heat tool for a while. So let's see, I don't like those edges here. Now that has to dry. Okay, I will be back. And I'm picking up those puddles here, just so it helps to dry a little bit quicker. Okay, it is dry. It did warp a little bit because it's no more glued here, I don't know why, but usually it stays pretty straight on the blocks. Now we're gonna stamp dragonflies, and I use StazOn for that because I don't want it to be dissolved when I go in with watercolor again. So that's why I use a permanent ink. StazOn isn't the only permanent ink, but it's what I have. Just saying. So and I'm just starting somewhere. I do not plan, I just add them randomly. I keep in mind how large the card's gonna be, so, and try to stamp as clear as I can. I didn't hit it here quite, but that's not a big issue. Just give enough time that the ink can transfer. It's not so much about the pressure than about giving the ink time to transfer. Also with those watercolor papers, because they have a texture, you never get such a clear, crisp impression like you would get on a plain cardstock, just so you know. But for me that's not a big issue. Now I'm done with the StazOn ink and the dragonfly. Now I want to give the dragonflies a little bit of color, of course, and I think I'm giving like a greenish body, and I use it is well, you know, the sizes for the brushes, the different companies don't have the same sizes, so it is Marabou number 2, and it is probably was a flat at one point. Just saying, but it is more pressed together at the end. And I'm gonna separate the eyes. I'm gonna use different colors for the eyes and for the bodies, just so you know. But you could do the same color if you like. Now for the eyes, I think I'm gonna go with blue again, but this time not so diluted, just now for the wings, and I do have test paper here on the side. Doesn't show a lot of color and a lot of pink. Yeah, I think I have to mix them with some color. Okay, it's certainly not quite the same like that, but I have a hard time repeating things. I thought I'm gonna add just a little bit pure gold to the ends of the wings, and depending how dry it is, it's gonna move around more or less. And also if I missed a part, I'm gonna add some gold, just to have some variation also. Not the same as I said, but some variation. I did go a little bit over the lines, so what I do is I try to pick it up with the somewhat dry brush. Here we go. Oh, I missed this one. Okay, I'm gonna have to do that. Now again, that has to dry, but I want to do first is some splatters. Now before I go on, I actually gonna cut my paper to the appropriate size. I find it easier if I have the correct size already to add my details. Okay, I managed to cut one a little bit too short, so oh well. I actually wanted them 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, so this is slightly shorter. Not sure what I'm gonna do with that. Maybe I'm gonna adapt. Let's see what it looks like. Well, that's okay too. Okay, anyway, now the next step is going to be with my other stamp. Where did I put it? Here it is. And the distress ink. I don't know whether you can see it on this card. It is very faint. The reason why I use the distress ink, I'm going to wet it afterwards just with the brush so that it's going to be a little bit diluted. That's what I like about the distress ink. You can stamp and then play a little bit with water just to give a different result. That's all what I need. Now let's add a little bit water and voila, you get a really soft effect. I mean, you could leave it if you want it that way, that would be totally fine too, but I kind of like the soft effect I get that way. Okay. And don't forget to leave room for your quote, whatever quote you're going to use it. So I have to think about where I'm going to put it. Maybe something like here. I also have different sized tubes which I'm gonna use. Now on to the embossing. I'm gonna use the same ink again, but because I really want a good impression, I use a little bit of fun foam underneath. I'm gonna zoom you out a bit so that you can see the whole thingy. Let's put that aside. I have my heat gun ready here. I have my stamp and my distress ink. A scrap piece of paper to catch the surplus. It is a distress ink, not a special embossing ink, so I try to work a little bit quicker than usual so that it still clings on to the... Oh, that's not a good paper. Oh, actually I don't use it like that. There was glue inside. I really use my scrap pieces of paper. There's not a lot to do, but just I want to go along the edges again with the purple. It is actually wilted violet. There's still some glue from the pad. You have to remove those pieces. Now to mount those cards I use a double-sided tape. You can use glue, that works fine too. It's just, it is quicker with these double-sided tapes. The only thing is you can't move them around. Once they are down, they are down. I'm gonna finish the rest of the cards off camera and then I will be back. Okay, here we are. Those are the cards I made with you. You watched me doing those cards, and those are the cards I tested out before. I'm not always testing out these things, but sometimes I do. So, as I said, it is a sort of a giveaway. I'm gonna send out postcards, happy mail, art postcard, whatever you want to call it. Several ways how you can reach me. Either you go to my website www.grob.com and subscribe to the newsletters and send me a message that you would like to have a card. Not everybody that subscribes my newsletter wants a card, so you really have to make sure that you also send me a mail. You would love to receive one of those cards, and then of course I need a postal address, so where I can send it. The other possibility is you go to my Facebook business page, Grob, Mixed Media and More, and shoot me a message. I will have all the links down below in the video description, don't worry about that. Or you are already a member or become a member of a Facebook group, Bea's Mixed Media and More. Again, the link will be down below in the description. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you soon again. Take care, bye.